Without wasting your time, we are going to share top 5 best tire pressure gauge. The product links are in the description and in first comment. The number 5 on the list is Jayco Elite Tire Pressure Gauge. Jayco Elite Tire Pressure Gauge. This Jayco tire air pressure gauge is small enough to fit in your pocket or glove box. It can read up to 60 psi in 1 psi increments and is calibrated to the American National Standards Institute standard to be accurate within. Heavy-duty brass components are wrapped in a rubber protective guard, and the 2-inch glow-in-the-dark dial gauge is easy to read. Readings will stay on the analog dial until the pressure reset button is pressed, so you can release it from the valve stem and have a better look. If you need to deflate a bit, just leave the gauge attached and hold down that same button to have it act as a bleed valve for a slow release of air. The brass chuck can swivel 360 degrees, making it easy to use at any angle. I bought it for use at a road track where I'll use it many times each day in dusty, windy and hot conditions. I'd questioned the accuracy until I checked it against multiple tire shops. We're all within about a pound of each other, and honestly, 1 pound is the variation in how consistently I pull the device off my tire. I'm good with 1 pound. I want the reading to stay until I use the pressure release and until the last hours of the last use. It did that, then it started leaking down. I went to the Jayco site, filed my warranty a year late with my Amazon order number and wrote a short note. Their response was near immediate. They sent simple instructions to fix the problem, and they say that a new device has been sent. And the instructions fixed the problem. It took 5 minutes. When it arrives, I'll ask if they want the new one back. When cleaning the device, I found small brass shavings, presumably from machining. The largest of these was on the O-ring closest to the swivel head. And thanks for your help. I gave up on battery-powered digital gauges and decided to buy this one. It is a bit bulky for my hands, but it's not overly big, takes a reading fast, and it holds the reading until you release the pressure. Connects to the valve stem easily, giving an instant and accurate pressure reading. The cap has a swivel feature, making it very easy to access valve stems regardless of where on the wheel its stem is, if that makes sense. I like this gauge a lot, and I did register it online in case it ever fails. I bought the 60 psi version since I'll never have big truck tires, and this gauge face was easy for old eyes to read. Love it so far and definitely recommend it. The number 4 on the list is Digital Sport Tire Pressure Gauge. Digital Sport Tire Pressure Gauge. I know it looks cheap and tiny, but I have had this digital gauge for nigh on 5 years, and it has never let me down. It measures from 5 to 150 psi in 0.5 psi increments and also reads in kPa and bar. I like the backlit screen and the ergonomic shape. It is battery powered, but with the automatic shut off the battery seems to last forever. Mine is still going strong. Plus, this digital pressure gauge is small enough to be stored everywhere. For the Rebelle Rally, I keep one in my pocket, one in the driver's door cubby, and one in my tool bag just in case I lose one. Great digital pressure gauge. I have used this model for years now, and after finding it on Amazon again, I got another one for backup. I find they are as accurate as my professional gauges. I used back when I was a tech. The specs say psi, which is reasonable for what it is. I keep mine in my glove compartment in my vehicles for whenever I decide to check my pressures. They are tough gauges too. I left mine in someone else's vehicle after checking their tire pressures. Unfortunately, they got into an accident and rolled their car. She is okay. This gauge got thrown out of the passenger window in the accident and landed on pavement and somehow survived. I definitely would recommend this tire pressure gauge. Slime has been committed to providing our customers with high-quality, innovative tire care products for everything from your wheelbarrow and lawnmower to your car and ATV. The first bottles of Slime were blended by hand in a garage on the central coast of California. It didn't take long for the green slimy stuff to develop a following. The Slime name stuck, and 30 years later, our sealants continue to be at the heart of our business. Our commitment to being green continues to go deeper than the brand color. We are dedicated to creating products that are safe for the user, the tire, and the environment, as solidified by Slime's green promise. The number 3 on the list is ARB Tire Pressure Gauge. ARB tire pressure gauge. Off-road folks will often want to let air out of their tires rapidly to gain more traction on the trail. This tire pressure gauge removes the valve core so you can quickly get back to having fun. Deflating 35-inch off-road tires down to 12 psi can take up to 20 minutes, but one Amazon reviewer says they accomplished the same task in 6. The analog pressure gauge measures up to 60 psi in 1 psi increments, and the brass stainless deflator tool is corrosion resistant. Further, the bronze tube gauge itself is not affected by outside temperatures, humidity levels or altitude. Keeping accurate tire pressure is a necessity for good fuel economy, prolonged tire life, and maximum traction off-road. This distinctive patented design of the RBZ deflator permits the valve core to be removed to deflate the tire at an amplified speed. An incorporated sliding valve provides a precise reading of the tire pressure while deflation is in process, certifying the desired psi is accomplished. Keeping accurate tire pressure is a necessity for good fuel economy, prolonged tire life, and maximum traction off-road. This distinctive patented design of the RBZ deflator permits the valve core to be removed to deflate the tire at an amplified speed. An incorporated sliding valve provides a precise reading of the tire pressure while deflation is in process, certifying the desired psi is accomplished. I am constantly airing my tires down on many of the roads I drive for work, especially in the winter time, to get a bit more traction on the back roads. Having to only have one tool in my hands instead of multiple that I can drop loose, especially in the winter time, saves me time out in the freezing temperatures. There are other options out there, but ARB has never steered me wrong with reliability quality. The number 2 on the list is Astro AI Digital Tire Pressure Gauge. Astro AI Digital Tire Pressure Gauge. You can use an air compressor to fill up your tires, and adding a tire gauge to the air hose means you won't have to disconnect the air to check the pressure. This gauge is a #1 bestseller on Amazon in air tool, parts and accessories. I like this digital tire pressure gauge because it's compatible with inch compressor outputs, has a locking chuck, and comes with extras like a valve core tool and 4 valve caps. This gauge can measure from 0 to 250 psi and can also give readings in bar, kpa, and there is a bleeder valve to let air out to remedy overinflated tires. The backlit LCD screen turns itself off after 20 seconds of inactivity to save on battery life. I tried multiple different inflators before settling on this one, but this one is definitely the best of the bunch, with one small modification, and that's to change out the tip that connects to the valve with something else. The stock one leaked a lot when I tried it out. I replaced with a Jayco Lightning S2, also bought from Amazon, and also added a coupler to the end so I can quickly change out the S2 with a pre-stock adapter, and I even made up a quick connect adapter for a ball inflator. I use this just about daily on bikes, balls, and my stand-up paddle boards, or some other piece that needs to be inflated. Love the trigger control, as it's much nicer than every other brand and form factor I tried, including the Jayco ones that already come with their better connector. For the inflator, stars overall because the connector is great. I was looking for an easy-to-use all-in-one tire pressure gauge inflator. I like this one and I'm mostly happy with the purchase. The only complaint I have is that I often have to put a bit of pressure on the inflating end of the hose to keep air from leaking from the valve stem while testing and inflating. I bought this one specifically because it latched onto the valve stem, making it fairly hands-free. I'm hoping that with a bit more use it will break in a bit and do a better job of grabbing. I have only used it on one vehicle so far, so maybe I'll get different results with different tires. Other than that, I am very happy with the ease of use, readability and accuracy of the inflator. The number 1 on the list is Milton Digital Dual Head Tire Gauge. Milton Digital Dual Head Tire Gauge. If you have a dual rear tire setup like on a heavy-duty truck or RV, you'll need a tire pressure gauge with a dual head swivel chuck. I like this XLR by Milton unit for its long reach and the 360-degree swivel on the chuck. Plus it has an LED flashlight built in, so you can actually see what you're doing when searching for that inner tire valve stem. This gauge reads from 5 to 100 psi as well as kpa and bar on a backlit LED screen. The digital gauge will automatically shut off after 30 seconds, and it comes with 2 batteries. This long-reach dual-head chuck is specifically designed for an easy reach into dual tire valves. The convenient metal, dual-head chuck swivels 360 degrees, offering additional ease on large trucks and dualies. The backlit display reads in both pounds per square inch as well as kilopascal and includes an automatic shutoff after 30 seconds. The built-in flashlight creates an additional safety feature for all our roadside emergencies. Its all-metal handle is surrounded by a slip-resistant rubber grip, making this tool a necessity for roadside safety. If you'd like a copy of the manufacturer's warranty for a product found on Amazon.com, you can contact the manufacturer directly or visit their website for more information. Manufacturer's warranties may not apply in all cases depending on factors like the use of the product, where the product was purchased, or who you purchased a product from. Please review the warranty carefully and contact the manufacturer if you have any questions. Milton Industries Incorporated was founded in a family business with only a few products and a simple idea to provide the highest quality products for our customers. Thanks to Milton Direct, we now have a direct sales channel from our warehouse to your homes and businesses. We're excited to be able to offer you the best quality tools and equipment for all of your everyday needs.